But the first one would be a 6-cone vice tackle. Just so sort of the needs for the drill is 2 coaches, 2 defenders, a runner, and 6 cones. So pretty easy. This is the setup for it. How it's done. So coaches will designate a cone, as you can see right here, for both the runner and the defenders. On the go command to start, defenders and runners will get around those cones that were picked with some urgency to you. We'll finish with a vice tackle. The runner gets the chance to threaten the leverage, so he gets 1 cut. Just the sort of the coaching points at the bottom here. Defenders, urgency, closing space, vice tackling. Runners, urgency around the cone, threaten the leverage, and get north. So this is kind of what that looks like. Looking at the ball carrier taking the cone that was picked. Looking at the defenders taking the cones that were picked. They're getting around them with urgency and finishing with the vice. Runner trying not to be viced, obviously. Let's look at some good clips of defenders doing this drill. So real quick, just to set up, you see it right here. You got your 6 cones out there. Cones that were picked for the defenders, cone that was picked for the runner. They're getting around these cones with urgency. And the same thing that we're talking with short space and long space. We're talking long stride, short stride, closing space to the near hip. So each guy gets around the cone. This guy has an easy go of it. He's head up. All he has to do is strike the inside near hip for him. This guy has a little bit longer way to go. So before he shuts it down too quick, he has to close this space as fast as possible and then still finish with his near foot up, strike on the rise. All right, different one here, different cones picked. Get around each cone. This time we sent a defender to the far cone and the middle cone, and we sent the runner away from those guys. So a little bit more difficulty here, where this guy in the gold jersey has to go now and get leverage. He has to go horizontal first before making a beeline at the runner. Other guy has to do a good job of closing that space out in between him and the runner. So good job by the guy in the gold, going horizontal, getting his leverage, trusting his buddy's going to close that space and help him on the vice tackle. Really good finish by the guy right here up top. Not shutting it down too early, closing all the space, taking the air out, getting his near foot up, striking on the rise. Good right here by the defenders. Urgency around the cones, like we said. Good knee bend, closing space vertically. Good finish. Each guy get their near foot up, striking on the rise. 46 want to get his head up just a little bit, but we're both in a good spot right here where we're attacking this guy's near hip on each side. So like I said, this is a full team drill. You see some of the white jerseys. We're getting the offensive guys in this thing too. Really good job by 6, a receiver for us, getting around the cone, closing the space vertically, tracking the near hip. We like to say burning the eyes on the near hip. So saying like, do not take your eyes off of that hip. It's going to tell you where the ball carrier is going. Getting his near foot up, good finish. One thing with 28 you'll see right here is we don't like that he kind of has his feet with no separation in between him. You don't have a lot of power with the narrow base. We like to see him widen it a little bit, but he does have the concept right here of having his near foot up and able to strike with some power. Getting the big guys involved here, so you actually see a tight end and a defensive end in the same drill. Good body control by those guys. Urgency getting around each cone, closing all the space out, attacking with our near foot up. Not a bad job by 10. Attacking the near hip, shimmying, striking on the rise. Same thing with 23. Not a bad job for a tight end, closing space, finishing. Want to get our near foot up a little bit. Hips are a little closed there. All right, so again, this isn't just for the defenders. We want to see the runners make these guys work. So here's some good look at the running backs right here. Looking at 44. So he kind of gets the cheat code right here. He gets to go opposite of the guys that are trying to vice him. This guy needs to go horizontal before he goes vertical to try to make sure we get that guy vice. Runner does a good job of threatening him, closing his hips, and then breaking out. And that would be a win for the runner, right? He doesn't get vice. He does a good job. 31 has to do a better job of going to get his leverage and sending him back to 38 on the left side. Another good one by the runner. This time, defenders should be in a pretty good position, right? They got this guy boxed up already. Runner does a good job of threatening them to the outside and then cutting it up north. You'd like to see 28 trust himself and go close that space out right now. Track that near hip, go cut the field off. And you'd like to see 38 right here continue to close the space. so that they don't get split like this. Good job by the runner. Looking at 46 right here, the runner does a good job getting around his cone. Sees 19 not doing a good job of having his near foot up while he's closing the space and tracking the hip. His hips are closed. Therefore, this guy's able to break outside and break contain. 19 gets him wrapped up here. We'll still count this as a loss as we go through these because we're not doing the technique and things that we're teaching. Couple more here. Looking at 19. Does a good job. Again, you either get 0 cuts or no cuts. You're running north, or you get 1 cut. Does a good job of freezing 15 and taking the air right here. Big focus will be on 17. This guy right here, as he gets around the cone, not enough urgency, not enough closing the space. He's basically making this be a one-on-one tackle, which we don't want, which is not the purpose of the drill. We got to close the space a lot faster, burn our eyes on the hip, near foot, near shoulder. Running back does a good job of taking advantage. We get our big guys in here, so some of the D lineman guys, this is a little bit foreign to them, a little bit of space for them that they're not used to. Runner does a good job right here, getting this guy to stop his feet a little bit too far, takes advantage, breaks to the outside. Again, we want to finish this thing every single time with a vice. So a couple game clips right here. Looking at 14 and 10, who are both circled. They'll get into their drops, and just like this drill, we're about 10 to 12 yards apart. We got to do all the same things, right? Both guys have got to close the space vertically, fast as they can, start to shimmy when they get close, near foot up, near shoulder. They do a pretty good job right here. Not bad by 10. Would like to be more controlled at the point of attack at this point, but does a good job of knowing, hey, this is a vice tackle. We're in zone. I'm good. Let me take my shot at my leverage. Show this one from the back with 14 and 10. So just like our drill, urgency getting to your drops or urgency getting around the cones like you just seen, reacting to the runner. Now we should be able to keep this guy right in between his vice hitting near foot, near shoulder, both of us using our near shoulder to finish this tackle. This should be easy, out in space, good finish. You never know which two guys you're going to use, right? So we have D linemen do this drill, O linemen do this drill, running backs, receivers, everybody. Right here in particular, you'll see a defensive end and a linebacker who have to make a vice tackle here on the quarterback that's scrambling. So he's out in space. Again, we got 2 guys. This guy should finish right in between us. If he breaks these tackles, he should split us right down the middle. He should not beat either one of us to the outside or inside. Good job by these guys vicing it. Only thing I'll say here is with our DN that shows up to the party, number 10, we want to finish this with our inside shoulder so this guy isn't able to spin out of this tackle. Really good job by the linebacker using his near foot, near shoulder on the strike.